Chapter 271. Am I someone you can buy with a red envelope? On the night of the 6th day of the new year, Xia Yishan went on a date with Mr. Su in the film studio as usual. Not far away, Assistant Sun was constantly paying attention to the movements around him. Afraid that someone would find out that his President Su had kidnapped Xia Yishan, he was simply an all-rounded assistant, not to mention the decathlon. In order to let the lovers finally get together, she arranged every date for them to meet like a thief so that outsiders would not suspect her. Now, the entire harem crew knew that film Emperor Su paid special attention to the artists in his company. It wasn't just Xia Yishan, but Cheng as well. Only those in the know knew that film Emperor Su was really good to Xia Yishan. Cheng was just a target to block the arrow. Assistant Sun stole a glance at the couple not far away. President Su was having a good time in love, but poor young Master Ya was trembling with fear. Tomorrow was the first working day after the new year. According to the usual practice in previous years, President Su and Master Ya had meetings that day. They were so busy that their feet didn't touch the ground. Other than the necessary meetings of the top leaders of F Group, President Su attended them in person. The rest of the meetings were via voice chat and would not show his face. This year, President Su was still dating at the film studio and didn't care about this big event. Young Master Ya had already sent him a lot of messages crying about his parents. He had tried to beat around the bush with President Su, but it was useless. Hence, he was smart enough to point out a way for young Master Ya to find Xia Yishan. He didn't know if he would succeed. The temperature at night was exceptionally low, and it was inevitable that it would be chilly walking in the breeze. Su Jingting and Xia Yishan walked side by side. In Xia Yishan's hand was the small hand warmer that Su Jingting prepared for her every day. Su Jingting's arm was still on her shoulder, making her turn slightly to face his embrace to avoid the cold wind blowing directly on her. Xia Yishan remembered what she had promised Suji and asked Su Jingting, "Do you have work to do tomorrow?" When Su Jingting heard that Xia Yishan was concerned about his work, he understood what had happened. He said frankly, "Did Suji give you a red packet again?" Xia Yishan was speechless. "Oh my god, my movie king Su." Xia Yishan raised her chin proudly. "Am I the kind of person who can be bought over with a red packet?" Su Jingting couldn't believe his eyes. Xia Yishan spread her hands and said, "It's not a red packet that bribed me. It's a transfer." Su Jingting was speechless. Xia Yishan happily opened the WeChat chat interface on her phone. Master Ya is indeed Master Ya. He started transferring money without saying a word. Perhaps he was embarrassed by the small amount of red packets he had sent out previously. After all, other than the limit of 520 yuan on May 20th, red packets usually only had 200 yuan. One thing Master Ya must have realized that 200 yuan is already too much for him to ask me for help. So he transferred the money directly. Hey ha ha ha. Su Jingting felt a little sour in his heart. The number of zeros on his supplementary card was much more than Suji's. Xia Yishan didn't go to take a look. Xia Yishan didn't realize that Su Jingting was jealous. This is also a small sum of income for me. Let's go. I'll treat you to supper." Su Jingting was speechless. Su Jingting was dragged away for supper unwillingly. As he ate, he wondered if Su Yuji's salary was too high. Too much pocket money. The dividends were distributed too punctually. He already had the spare money to tease his sister-in-law. Wouldn't it be better to freeze a few of his bank cards? Su Yuji, who was far away in Beijing, sneezed 3 times in a row and silently put on some clothes to keep himself warm.